Good morning, guys, on this Tuesday. Still sticking with the Northeast states, which we will be all week. Remember these states from Maine to Maryland? All these states, including the 6 New England states we learned, we're just adding these few states here. Now, here's kind of the different regions we're going to be going through the next few weeks. Actually, next week we're going to take a little bit of a break and go through some electoral college stuff. But at any rate, they're kind of divided into these sections of what we call regions of the United States. Now, you can see that they're all connected or next to one another. However, there's also different reasons why they are grouped in regions. They share something in similar, something in common is what I should say. Not to say that every state's the same. I mean, Maine is not the same as Pennsylvania, New York's not the same as Rhode Island, but there's different things that they have in common. Now, we're going to talk about some of the similarities and differences of the states in the Northeast region today. But again, just a kind of reminder of the different state names you had to write in yesterday. These are all the different states. The 6 we learned last week and the 5 we're adding this week. And here's a picture. I'm sorry, I know this is busy, which what I mean is there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not in great focus. But I want you again to focus on these Northeast states right here. And I really want you to focus on where you see a lot of the red, which is roads. I know we went through maps, and social studies is not a very good map key. But I know what the red stands for are major roads. I'm talking like the interstates, like what you ride on in Phoenix that are, 4 or 5 lanes wide. As well as all the black writing. Those are city names. I know they're hard to make out, but those are city names. Now, when we talked about these 6 New England states, there's a lot that you don't hardly see any red or any black written in. Remember we talked about Maine? How if you kind of cut it in half, this northern half of Maine, there's really hardly any power lines because there's really hardly any people. Not to say there isn't anybody, but really few and far between. But where you see the red and the thick black, that means there's a lot of cities and a lot of people. I mean, if you think of Arizona, you have a big map, and Arizona is a big state, but most of the state is very rural, which is a big fancy social studies word for not a lot of people. In Phoenix, you got big, huge mass. In fact, 2/3 of the entire state's people live in the Phoenix area. So you have these roads going all over the place, and you have all these city names. It's just this big cluster. Well, that's what these Northeast states have right in here. This is really, really busy. If you've been in some bad traffic jams in Phoenix, this is really, really bad. And this goes from Boston, Massachusetts, through New York, through New Jersey and Philadelphia and Baltimore. I mean, that's just a lot of really large cities with a lot of population, with a lot of people. If you notice, they're all on the East Coast, all in the Atlantic Ocean. There's a reason, because they started as shipping cities. Ships could get in and out really easily, just like we talked about a couple weeks ago. That's really big for the economy and the commerce and to sell stuff and buy stuff because things are coming in there and you don't have to travel all the way inland to get them. They're right there. But I guess I said it's really bad as far as traffic jams, and that's true. But if you like a lot of people and if you like a lot of different big cities, going from Baltimore to Boston, really the whole time it's going through city after city after city after city after city. I mean, it's literally like going from Mesa, Arizona, all the way across to Glendale, Arizona. It looks like just one big solid massive city, which it is, but that's just one city with the suburbs. This is Boston, through Hartford, Connecticut, through New York, New York, New York City, New York, through Trenton, New Jersey, through Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, I know I've said a lot of city names, and the only capital city there is Boston, but remember what we said. It's not always the biggest cities at the capital city. In fact, most of the time is not. Here we have Providence, Rhode Island, and Hartford, Connecticut, and Albany, New York, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Annapolis, Maryland, and Dover, Delaware. But that's what some of these Northeast states are really known for, is the population, the people. And notice what it's even best known for is New York City, New York, which has the biggest population in our entire country. Look at how many people live in New York City. 22 million people. Phoenix has about 4 million people. See, Phoenix isn't even on here. But look at this. Here's Baltimore, and they put Washington, D.C. because they're like sister cities. They're right next to each other, like Phoenix and Tempe. We have Boston, Massachusetts. We have Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So when we go back to this map, and you can see all these different roads and black names for the city names, it's just jam-packed full of people, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing if you like that, but so many people live in this area. It's just pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Here's a picture of New York City. As you can see, there's no way to go out because you got the the Hudson River and the East River. I couldn't remember the name, sorry, but so what they started doing was when they really developed steel, is they went up with skyscrapers, right? I mean, look at how huge these buildings are, and it's not just one or two; it's hundreds of them. I mean, that's just amazing, and it's all over New York. And so if you're wondering, man, how they fit that many people in? Well, just in these, skyscrapers and towers and apartment buildings, there's hundreds and hundreds of people in every one of them. Really, again, pretty amazing if big cities are what you like. Here's another picture at night, and again, it's just as far as you can see the different lights on at night and the traffic and things like that. It would be fun to visit. Now, again, if you like big cities, great. I would like to visit. Wouldn't really like to live there, but if you do, that's great. And obviously, 22 million people do like it because they're there, right? But I don't want you to focus that all the Northeast states have huge cities, because they don't. They're still known for the woodlands and the wooded mountains, right? Like Vermont's called the Green Mountain State. There's still a lot of these. These are the Appalachian Mountains, is a mountain chain that they have, and it stretches throughout the whole Northeast region. Allow me to go back a long ways here to that city here. You see how these really, once you get above this level, there's not a lot of roads and not a lot of black city names, right? So this is where all the big cities are. Up here, not so much. Not so much. Now, you still have big cities like Pittsburgh and Harrisburg like this, but there's a lot of rural areas, again, with not a lot of people. So these Northeast states are also known for the mountain. And here's, you can almost see right where the Appalachian Mountains go, because that's where there's not a lot of cities, because obviously it's hard to build on a mountain, right? See, the Appalachian Mountains go right there. So yes, known for big, huge, giant cities, but yes, still known for its remote locations with the beautiful fall colors and the mountains and things like that. Here's your assignment. Unlike yesterday, you had to write in the state names. Today you write in the capital city names. And so you can see again, I saw the arrows because some of these states are so small. But follow the arrows and please write in the state capital names. Hopefully you can remember these 6 capital city names, but don't forget these. And again, a little bit of bonus here. I know Maryland and Delaware are not on this map. If you want to write them in, great. You will get quizzed on them Friday. I'm sorry they're not on this map, but they will be on Friday's test. If you want to write them in for this assignment, great. You don't have to, but don't forget about them for Friday. 2 little states down here, Maryland and Delaware. That is your assignment for the day, guys. Lord's blessings to you as you praise your Savior.